Hey y'all, what's up? So I don't really have anything particular to vlog about today, but I still wanted to get on here, talk to you guys, and get a video uploaded. So as you guys know, we sold our house and we bought a house, and we've been kind of stressing out the past couple days because I don't know if you guys are familiar. I'm sure some of you guys are familiar with how the house buying process works, and for those of you who don't, I'm going to kind of explain just a little background information. So it was a lot easier when we just bought the house because we weren't moving from a house, so we put an offer on the house, we negotiated, then we had inspections, and then even if something had fallen through, we weren't going to be out of a place to live because we had until December to move out of our last place, and we actually ended up getting this house in April, so we had about 8 months. So even if something hadn't worked out, we still would have been okay. Whereas this time we have sold our house, we have a closing date which is August 22nd, and the people want possession on that day, so that means we have to have all our stuff out, everything cleaned up and out of here technically on the 21st, because I don't know what time they're closing in the morning. It could be 8 a.m., could be 11 a.m., might not be till afternoon. I think it's sometime in the morning. So we want to make sure we have everything out by Tuesday night and have everything cleaned up. And along with that is, are we going to be into a new house the same exact day? Now, we put an offer on the house last week, not last year. So we put an offer on the house last week, and we negotiated back and forth, and we agreed upon an amount, and then from there we had to schedule inspections. And when we put an offer on the house, we requested that a few things that we noticed immediately needed to be done, we requested that those get done before we buy the house, and the seller agreed. So now go back a couple days. Today is Friday. On Wednesday we had our general inspection, a termite inspection, and then they did a radon testing. I could not tell you about the radon testing. I know it's some sort of gas. If you're interested in knowing more about it, maybe you can look it up, but I don't know too much about it. Obviously, I'm familiar with the termite inspection. They're looking for termites. And then the general home inspection, they're just kind of looking over the entire house, making sure it's safe to live in, what kind of things need done. So upon going through the inspection, we noticed some things that we should have noticed when we walked the house the first time, but we somehow missed. And so the home inspector noted those, and we had to request that the seller fix those before we could move forward. And they have 3 days to either say, yes, we'll fix those, or no, we won't fix those, or we'll fix this, but we won't fix this. Now, if we don't hear back from them in those 3 days, then our contract is void, and we basically are out of the contract, and we have to look for another house. Or we could put another bid on that house, but we had already talked, if something like that were to happen, we weren't going to go back in on that house. So we are getting really nervous because, so they had until tomorrow, Saturday afternoon, to get back to us, probably about 4 o'clock, I want to say, because we requested the stuff at about 4 o'clock on Wednesday, so they had until Saturday around 4 o'clock to get back to us. So last night we had messaged our realtor just to see if there was an update, and he said, they have 3 days, but I will reach back out to them. So at this point we were getting nervous that they were just kind of going to wait the 3 days and then get out of the contract without any sort of obligation or issues. So we were starting to get really nervous, and a couple of the things that needed fixed were things we weren't willing to move into the house knowing they needed fixed. There was a couple other things where, we will go in and we'll fix those ourselves. We're not really worried about those, more cosmetic than anything. So we are getting really nervous, and finally we just heard back from our realtor, and they said they agreed to do the major things, and then they wanted to have someone come out and check the other things, just to see if it was something that had to be done or if it was something we could wait for and we could do ourselves, which we agreed to because they agreed to fix the major problems that we had. I'm not going to go into details because that's kind of boring and no one came to watch this video to learn all about that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to skip that. But we are happy now because the radon test came back normal. There was no sign of termites, and they agreed to fix the major problems that came back in the inspection. So now at this point, it's literally just a waiting game. Not so much waiting on our part, more waiting on their part, I guess, because at this point now we pack and we get ready for the closing date. So I guess there's really nothing waiting about that because we're doing stuff. So we've got a couple weeks. As of tomorrow, we have exactly 2 weeks until Charles' birthday party, and then as of Sunday, we have exactly 2 weeks until we leave for vacation. So we have to get just about everything done in the next 2 weeks. And I just went and picked up the t-shirts to work on Charles' birthday shirts and our vacation shirts that I told myself I was going to do, and now I'm regretting it because we're in the process of moving. But I told myself that I was going to do them, so I'm going to make sure they happen. And if you guys are wondering what I'm doing right now, my kitten Penelope, she's in my lap, so I'll show you guys her. Oh, and my camera's gonna die, so I apologize if this cuts out. I will take over on my phone if I have to. And I need to get a backup charger because this camera is dying way too quickly. Charles actually fell asleep, and he's laying on the floor in a blanket. I have not left the room, so he is perfectly fine. So before this cuts out, hopefully, I want to show you guys. So I showed you guys his gifts yesterday, and I started wrapping some last night. And for those of you who are not great at wrapping, like myself, you might find this humorous. So I have a feeling it's going to cut out during the story. So I wrapped the smaller gifts, and then we had 3 big gifts, if you guys remember. If you guys did not watch that video, go watch that first and then come back for this one. So I wrapped the smaller gifts first, and then I got to the smallest of the 3 big items, and I didn't have enough wrapping paper on that roll, and I didn't want to waste it because where am I going to put like half of a piece of sheet? So like I wrapped the bottom of it with what was left, and then I went back through, took scraps from the other small gifts that I wrapped up, and then I took a small corner off the new sheet of wrapping paper, and this is just awful. So there's the corner. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but like this is all different sheets because I ran out. And I didn't want to waste this pretty blue paper, but we didn't buy him many small gifts. There's the small gifts. I'm just not great at wrapping. And then there's another small gift. I still have to wrap that, and that I kind of got discouraged after this mess right here, but it is what it is. I am going to hop off of here because I know my camera's about to die, and I have to go pick Christopher up from work. So make sure you subscribe to our channel, like this video, share it with anyone you think would like to see it, and as always, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.